Hello, welcome to another My Life in Objects. So I've been meaning to do this particular video for a long time now. I think I've got the setup just about right. I'm going to try and not bash the camera and knock it over because I've got this cranked right up to the point where, just fix that, yep, okay. The power had come out. Right, yeah, so what is this? Well, this is course materials for a course I did way back in the 90s, in the mid-90s, as part of an Open University Postgraduate Diploma in Computing and Manufacturing. And this was one of the computing units. Now, up to the, I think pretty much up to the point of receiving this particular set of course materials, I'd either received course materials in a binder, or like two binders set up with a binder for your notes, an empty one, and then a binder with the course materials in it, and they would go in a big solid sleeve, and they've really held up well over the years. Other courses, often there would be a great big binder where inside of the binder would be the individual sort of pamphlet style Open University course material that I've shown you on a previous episode when I was talking about the oceanography unit for the certificate in contemporary science. That was a modern version of it, but there are a number of course materials like that with these sort of 100, 200 page pamphlets, and there would be like 6 to 8 of them. So it was a real pleasant surprise because I didn't know what to expect when this one, when I did the course, turned up. It's quite unique packaging. It amazes me how the plastic's held up. So this is from, like I say, this will be from 90, yeah, probably 97 maybe, 96, 97. But it's held up really well. And it's got its own carrying handle. This is for a course called Intelligent Systems Analysis and Design, and Computing for Commerce and Industry was the name of the program, and there were basically 3 certifications when by assembling a number of modules. One was a postgraduate diploma in computing, one was a postgraduate computer in manufacturing, and one, which is the one I did, was a joint postgraduate diploma in computing and manufacturing. So let's open this up without hitting the camera again and show you what is inside. I'll probably get this all out on the desk in one go. So we've got some study materials, and I can get it on the floor and we can be a little bit safer. Some other stuff as well. I think that's everything. There's a spacer in there which we don't need. But yeah, it's really held up well. Okay. We'll save that bit till last. That's the off-print book and the actual assignment. And I was trying to work out today, actually, I wasn't too sure. I've got a paper there, like an exam paper, and I'm not sure whether it was the paper I actually took as the final exam or whether it was a past paper that I asked for, because as I advanced through the course I found that you could purchase very reasonably past papers so I could practice doing the exam. So we have a study guide on Intelligent Systems Analysis Design. This was a very hard course. Part of the problem I had, and it was pointed out by the tutor, who's very good, and when they give me feedback for my assignments, is that it sometimes with this course is a bit of a disadvantage if you've done any form of systems analysis, because they're after a particular style of analysis for intelligent systems, and you had to sort of unlearn a little bit or try and avoid resting on your laurels. But you can see it's sort of divided up into weeks, so you just work through this a week at a time, and there's a a nice review section. It's already really, see, week 16, so you can see it's a pretty long course, these ones. They ran twice a year, so the idea is you spent 5 to 6 months on the course, took the exam, and then you're ready to go with the next courses that you've chosen. And it was pretty tight. I can remember signing up for courses while the courses were still running. So yeah, got some possible answers, very well thought out. So that's your study guide, and that will walk you through the rest of the materials. So we have a knowledge-based systems analysis and design developer handbook, Prentice Hill, but done up with so it's the BCS practitioner series. Very cleverly, I don't know if that is by design, it looks like it matches to some degree the colour scheme of the course, but I think this is a separate book. Normally where the Open University ones have been printed specifically for the OU, it does mention that on the outside of the book. But nice, good quality book with lots of information about CADs, knowledge-based systems analysis and design. So yeah, I'll flick through all of this. I just wanted to sort of show you that it just makes me smile with these course materials. Like this one was just so inventive. Yeah, quite old style layout, but yeah, full of really useful diagrams and various other things. So we have that, and then we have the knowledge level modelling in OCML. So there was a software tool that you utilised, which we'll come on to in a moment, for use with the course, like a markup language as well, which you can see some examples there. I think that was my first exposure to like a prototyping type system. And then, yeah, modelling in USL, which is another piece of software that we leveraged as well on the course, and we had to learn. You probably guess by how old this is. This is the old Windows 3.11 style boxes, so it just gives you some idea. So yeah, we're talking, pre Windows 95 when this was printed. At that point, I'm trying to think what I would have been running at home. I would have been running Windows, some flavour of Windows 3.11, I think, on my first computer. And then we get this off-prints book, which again would be referenced in the study guide. So yeah, basically reproductions of certain papers and other useful material that they would be referencing. So in the course of the study guide, you'd have to pick out certain sections to read on certain subjects. I'd had similar things like this before, one of which was actually almost printed up in book form, I think, and like bound like almost like one of those books for another course, which went through some sort of classic papers. I think that was for my Implementing New Technologies course, actually, where they did that. So I had all these sort of classic papers, but the binding was slightly different. This one's nice because it's got that spiral bind. So this is the software that came with it. Yeah, old school disc here. DM871 was the course designation. So we've got that's sort of course materials. Then we've got the USL installation disc. So this must be the part for the other prototyping things. It's been a while since I've run that. And then we get the assignment booklet. So this would have been what I would have had to work my way through. There were 3 TMAs, one after week 6, one after week 13 to 14, and one, the cut-off date was the 19th there. And I I don't know, this was a really hard set of courses for me. So I used to start planning the TMA literally 4 weeks before it was due in, because it was just so demanding. So you can see there's TMA 1, TMA 2, TMA 3. Useful installation instructions, because it looks like that was required. I wonder if, I never remember if it's useful or pronounced easel, something like that. I'm just trying to remember here whether sometimes in some of the assignments you would be tested on using the software. Okay, use of OSOL, okay, yeah, okay. Finally makes explicit the standard we expect you to have achieved in your 4 weeks on OSOL and Camel. Right. And there's lots of really useful things here about, you know, where people have fallen over in the past submitting TMAs. There was quite a, when I did the course on implementing new technologies, there wasn't so much a disclaimer, but they openly admitted that they had a high failure rate on the course because it was taught like a social sciences unit and not like a hard science. And a lot of people, there was a lot of essays to write and sort of personal reflection on interpersonal skills, stuff like that. And it was a real challenge, actually. So yeah, that was fun and games. So this is the specimen examination paper, so you can prepare for the exam with some sample solutions. And then this, like I said, I'm not sure, because the date on here is interesting, because it's Thursday, April the 30th, 1998. It may well have been the paper that I took. Because the problem I'm getting confused is at the time I was actually buying as many as I went through the course. I found it a good idea to buy as many of the past papers as possible and try and see if there was some sort of way of hedging my bets a little bit in terms of what might turn up on the exam, so I could focus on different things. Stop press thing, a welcome stuff. It says, yeah, you may feel at times there is too much to read. Yeah, so there's a study chart as well. I think I showed you that. Yeah, this is what you need to do if you need to replace your discs, and then there's a nice tick list. Core pack, students and new tutors. So yeah, I mean, if you were teaching the course and you hadn't taught it before, you would get, you know, or the course had changed, you would get the most up-to-date pack. So if you found that interesting, it certainly brought a smile to my face, even though the course was really hard. And I can remember at that point, I think when I did this course, I was working at my first programming job. And I can remember having to take stuff in at lunchtime. And so I was sitting there with my sandwiches on lunch break doing some of my assignments because they were so difficult. So thanks once again for watching. Bye for now. And I'll catch you in a future episode.